Shots fired.
What is up, TKW Warriors? J King
and TJ Hunter.
And we're coming at you with another list today. But this time it's going to be a little different.
You know, as you can see, you can't see us. We've decided that on our lists, we just want to focus on the talking, so we're going to do some gameplay while we do the lists. And today's list is going to be each of our respective top 20 cross-promotional matches. And not just any promotional, it's got to be WWE versus a superstar tag team group from the independent circuit.
Exactly. And we're just going to jump right into this with J King's number 20. Tessa Blanchard and Rachel Ellering versus Charlotte Flair and Natalya. This match, I just really want to see it because it would be cool to see how second-generation superstars on the independent scene would fare against second-generation superstars that have basically made it.
All right, now we're switching over here to my number 20, and it's kind of the reason it's my number 20 is because it's kind of a weird match, because it's not really a match, it's an entire tournament. And it mimics the mixed match challenge from earlier in 2018, and it's a mixed tag tournament featuring teams of Rusev and Lana, Andrade and Zelina, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, and then we have and Montez and Bianca. We then have two mixed tag teams with one WWE and one Indie, with Zach teaming up with Chelsea Green and Adam Cole, Bebe, teaming up with Britt Baker.
Bebe.
And then you have the two fully independent teams of course, Johnny Mundo and Taya Valkyrie, and Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. Well, I know he's Cody on the independents, but I can't ever say Cody without saying Rhodes. He is Cody Rhodes.
I can't call him Cody Rhodes anymore. Feels weird.
Anyway, I really feel like even though this would be more or less a throwaway tournament, I feel like each and every one of these guys and girls can really make it special in every single match, no matter who they're up against during any point in the tournament.
Throwing it back to J King, my number 19 is the British Superman, Tyler Bate, versus the villain, Marty Scurll. I just want to see that match. I love Marty Scurll. Tyler Bate is amazing in the ring. Both of these men are super young, and both have so much ahead of them. Oh my God, these matches are just...
To be fair, none of these matches are truly based on more or less talent, story, what the worldwide might want to see. This is all our honest opinion.
This is all what we want to see.
Just cool matches, not necessarily in-ring wise, just people we always want to see together.
We probably won't end up explaining a lot of them, but just saying the match.
Yeah. This one, another oddball in my 19s. It's going to be Ivelisse versus TJP. Now, Ivelisse on the independent scene, she goes up against guys, she goes up against girls, she goes up against anything you put in front of her, and she kicks ass. And I really feel like TJP could play up this really bad, I'm the best in the world, but I'm also a guy, which means I'm already better than you type character. And, Ivelisse can just kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's valid. My number 18 is just a match that would make me super duper happy, and that is...
The J King Wet Dream match.
Yeah. It'd make Navarro piss his pants. That's going to be a running joke forever. Just throwing that out there, Navarro. But it is Jeff Hardy versus Adam Hangman Page.
That it? Okay. They want to step on you there because I figured you want to talk about that one. All right.
No, I'm not going to really explain the matches anymore. It's just names.
This one I'm not going to explain either. It's my number 18 is Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair. I feel like they can put on a really good match. Obviously, Tessa, third generation, Charlotte, second generation. Got the background there.
My number 17 is a match that would be really, really interesting. It is Undisputed Era of Adam Cole,
Bebe,
Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly going up against sexy Chucky T, a.k.a. Chuck Taylor, Trent, and Rocky Romero.
And no, he didn't forget Trent's name. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Yes. It's not Trent. It's Trent? He
All
has
right.
a fucking question mark in his name. Look on Instagram.
My number 17 is Super Britain match. Marty Scurll, Zack Sabre Jr., and Will Ospreay versus British Strong Style.
Jolly well, mate.
Not much to say there. Obviously, you can see why I put those together.
My number 16 is something that could have happened on the Indies up to a week and a half ago. But it is the newly signed Matt Riddle versus Cody.
All right, my number 16. This match would be very, very, very hard to watch live because it would just be strike central, stiff strikes, lots of chokeholds, two of the most scary men in wrestling today.
Blood.
It would be Minoru Suzuki versus Brock Lesnar.
That'd be a show.
Oh man, I could just see him going at it right now, and I could see myself throwing up just because of how gruesome they get towards each other.
I'd love it.
Oh man, it'd be so good.
All right, my number 15 is kind of an oddball. One of the few oddballs I actually have on my list, I'd say. But it's something that would be really, really cool for me personally because I love both of these guys. But it's Kofi Kingston versus Jay White. I just feel like that match would knock it out of the park.
All right, my number 15, this goes without saying. You'll understand why I put this match together. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi versus John Cena. The ace versus the ace.
Interesting. My number 14 is a match that probably anyone that likes tag team wrestling at all would like to see. The Usos versus the Briscoes.
All right, my number 14 throws it back old school again with some current faction versus former faction warfare as Tetsuya Naito takes on Andrade Cien Almas. Tranquilo versus Tranquilo.
My number 13 also involves Andrade Cien Almas, but not going against Tetsuya Naito. Andrade Cien Almas versus Marty Scurll. Because that match would be fucking great. Plain and simple.
All right, my number 13, the Bloodline, and for those of you who don't remember, the Bloodline is Roman Reigns and the Usos back when they were feuding with AJ Styles in the club versus Firing Squad, Samoan versus Tongan, Anoa'i versus Fafita.
Fuck 'em. My number 12 is a match that probably no one ever thought they wanted to see.
Probably kill a man.
Yes, but Pentagon Jr. versus Daniel Bryan.
Because you just hate Daniel Bryan, you want his neck to get broken. He would murder Daniel Bryan, literally.
No, Daniel Bryan would rip his fucking arm off.
That's true. All right, my number 12 is the Undisputed Era of Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus the Golden Elite of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi.
My number 11 is a match that you could look at as a passing of the torch. It is the workhorse of WWE. The man that's always going to go out there and put on the best match on the card because that's what he wants to do. Versus the man that some could say that he carries Ring of Honor. And that would be Seth Rollins versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. I feel like that match, those two would have amazing chemistry, and they would steal the show no matter who else is on the card.
All right, my number 11 is actually, there's a tie here. I couldn't decide and both matches would be equally as good for different ways. My number 11 is either The Shield versus The Elite or The New Day versus The Elite. We almost had New Day versus Elite, but it was a gaming convention.
We
not in
did
the
have
ring.
New Day versus Elite at a gaming convention.
It wasn't in the ring, and I want them to face in the ring. I feel like all 6 of those guys, either Shield or New Day, would really mesh well with the trio of the Elite, Kenny and the Young Bucks.
I really thought the Elite was going to come to WWE when they wore the New Day shirts.
Oh, all the way back in what, 15, 16?
15.
That would have been really cool.
If WWE weren't such sticklers. Imagine
Sticklers?
if New Day wore Being the Elite shirts on Raw. On the episode that the Elite invaded.
Well, if they did that, they'd be fired.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Jacobs was.
Fuck them. Alright, my number 10 is a man that actually gets into the top 10 twice. Tommaso Ciampa versus
Tommaso Champ.
Versus Tama Tonga.
Alrighty, my number 10. Alright, so the entirety of the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega, Cody, The Bucks, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll. Who am I forgetting? And adding in Kota Ibushi to make 7 to take on The Shield, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Nerd!
She's too sweet, man.
Just 2. Sweet! Alright, my number 9 is a match that we have seen multiple times at gaming conventions and almost on Up, Up, Down, Down. But it is Xavier Woods versus Kenny Omega.
Alright, my number 9. And don't hate me for this, because I know it's already happened multiple times.
I already hate you.
I just want to see it again. Will Ospreay versus, you guessed it, Ricochet. Just every time they get in the ring together, it's magic. And I love every single time they're in the ring together. They've never put on a bad match.
I agree with you. My number 8, though, would destroy you. My number 8 is...
My number 8 would literally destroy everyone in your number 8.
Johnny Gargano. Tommaso Ciampa. Excuse me. Johnny frickin' Wrestling. Tommaso Champ. And the Revival against the Golden Elite. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and the Young Bucks. Nick and Matt Jackson. Beat that.
Okay, my number 8 is even scarier than my number 16. My number 8 is Big Daddy Walter versus Braun Strowman. 2 of the biggest men that are more athletic than they should ever be with those sizes.
I just want to give a little message to Walter.
Well, we better be nice, because if not, he can come rip your head off.
Your name is spelled Walter and you're a bitch. I fucking hate that guy.
I hope this is the one video he watches, just because it gets suggested to him randomly, and he hears that, finds out where you live, and comes and attacks you.
Come get me, Walter. I live in Andrews, Texas.
Alright, what's your number 7?
Get you in the ring, bitch. My number 7 is the Velveteen Dream.
Dream.
Dream versus Jay White.
Switchblade.
That match would be great.
Velveteen Dream's really coming into his own as a character, as is Jay White with the new Switchblade gimmick, and I think that would be a really good match. My number 7, forget what I said about number 8, forget what I said about number 16. This is the scariest match on my card or on my list. It's Samoa Joe versus Tomohiro Ishii.
No. Not scary at all. My number 6 is scary. Scary good. The Demon King, Finn Balor.
Rematch.
No, hear me out. The Demon King, Finn Balor. Versus the fucking IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega. Not those pussy ass juniors.
Alright.
I'm not talking Prince Devitt. I'm talking Finn Balor.
My number 6 is the scariest luchador of all time. I've used scary.
How many scary matches do you have?
You know how many scary matches I've seen? This isn't a scary match. It's just a scary luchador. It's Pentagon Jr. tag teaming with his real life brother Phoenix as the Lucha Bros versus two people that legitimately, well, kayfabe legitimately hate each other. Hashtag DIY. And both of these teams are teams that are amazing tag teams. Like, they've done amazing things together, even though DIY hadn't really been around that long before they split. And then they're just as good as separate. So I really think they'd put a really good match together. And especially with the dynamic of Johnny and Tommaso.
They aight. My number 5 is probably the most intriguing match on my list, in my own personal opinion. Samoa Joe, the Destroyer, the man that can put you out within 3 seconds of locking in that coquina clutch, versus Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, baby. Jay Lethal is one of, if not the greatest wrestlers in Ring of Honor right now. Ring of Honor exclusive. And I just feel like those two could go out there and possibly break Meltzer's 5-star scale. Samoa Joe in ring is one of the best big men technicians. And Jay Lethal can put on a good match with anybody. That match would do a lot of things for me.
Oh yeah! My number 5 is a fatal 4-way tag team match. And not one of them WWE fatal 4-ways where you gotta tag in and out and there's only 2 people in the ring at one time. Even though there's no disqualification, there's no reason for anyone to be on the apron at any point in time. It's the Usos versus the Young Bucks versus the Revival versus the Briscoes. And the reason I wanted it to be a fatal 4-way is so there wouldn't be any countouts and there wouldn't be any disqualifications. And, just imagine, super kicks from anywhere. You got the Uso splashes off of everything, through everything. Meltzer drivers off of ladders, through tables. Briscoes putting people through tables, ladders, chairs. The Revival doing shatter machines. I feel like those 4 teams could put on a hell of a fatal 4-way.
My number 4 is I don't really know what to say about this. This match would it's not necessarily a dream match for probably anybody else. But for me and TJ, this match would tick all the boxes. It is Seth Rollins, the architect of the Shield, the man who created and destroyed one of the best modern day factions in WWE, versus Will Ospreay, one of the most inventive men on the indie scene today. That it sold itself.
Yeah, I would love to see that match. My number 4 is not necessarily, an indie darling's, greatest dream. It might be because of who's in it, but it's not going to be the flippy matches that I'm usually praising more or less. This is just going to be one of the best ever technical ground-based matchups of all time. And it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre Jr. Both of them are submission specialists, ground-based wrestlers, and when they have to, they can fly. And it's just, I could just see them putting in submissions and countering them at the same time.
My number 3 is Cody versus the Velveteen Dream. Now, back to the point. Velveteen Dream is one of the most dynamic characters in NXT today, if not the entire WWE. He's really one of the only guys left that has an actual out there character that's actually over. And as for Cody, in my opinion, Cody Rhodes is the best professional wrestler in the world today. That's my own personal opinion. A lot of people won't agree with me, but there's some people out there that would. But I just feel like if Velveteen Dream ever got the chance to get in the ring with Cody, it would do nothing but make him so much better than he was before he stepped in that ring.
Alrighty, my number 3 is Roman Reigns versus Kazuchika Okada. Now, most people see this as the overpushed WWE versus the overpushed of New Japan. The way around that is, well, just book the match as what it is.
Double count out.
Like, Roman Reigns and Kazuchika Okada, like, if they just no-sell everything in that match for the first 20 minutes. Roman Reigns, Superman punches, Okada does nothing. Okada Rainmakers, Roman Reigns doesn't go down because he's got the protective vest. I just feel like they could put on a really good, not big man per se, but I really view Roman Reigns as thriving in the heavyweight division of New Japan because he does fly around a lot more than the heavyweights do in New Japan, especially Okada. Okada doesn't really leave the mat as often as even some of the other heavyweights do, especially not as often as Roman Reigns. And I feel like Roman can play that against Okada and use his speed against him.
Now, my number 1 and 2 both contain 4 of my favorites today. And I don't really have to say much about this match just because of what all of 4 of these men have accomplished. But my number 2 is Cody versus AJ Styles. Ring of Honor World Champion versus WWE Champion. I know Cody's not the Ring of Honor Champion right now, but he will be again soon. Or I could say NWA Champion versus WWE Champion, depending on if he won it all at All In or not.
I really hope he does.
I really hope he did.
Just saying, this is going to be recorded before All In, probably posted afterwards.
Yes.
So we're going to be watching it. I'll be watching it live. You'll be watching it two or so days after.
2-3 days later. I'll be on vacation.
But before this is posted, we'll know who won. We're hoping it's Cody.
We will probably end up watching it together whether I watch it late or not.
Alright, so my number 1 and number 2 involve the same indie guy. And for those of you who actually listen and hear what I say about this guy, you'll know who it is before I even say number 2. But we'll just get into it. My number 2 is Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega. Now,
you do love Seth Rollins.
I love all 3 guys in my number 1 and number 2. Now, Seth Rollins, he's, in my opinion, the best worker, the best bout machine of WWE, whereas Kenny Omega is the best bout machine of New Japan, of really the indies, honestly. And I feel like, their styles are very similar. They both are, both high flying and powerhouse. Because Seth Rollins is one of the As for how small he is, he's definitely one of the strongest superstars on the roster. And same with Kenny Omega. I know he's built himself up a lot from his junior heavyweight days, but he's still not a super heavyweight, and he can still pick up people for power bombs, one-winged angels, and things of that nature. And I think they can really use their assets against each other in that type of match. And plus, come on, V-Trigger and one-winged angel versus the superplex Falcon Arrow combo and the curb stomp. What better matchup do you want?
This better matchup. My number one involves my favorite wrestler of all time in the history
versus John Cena
of J. King. My number one is John Cena, the man, Super Cena, leader of the C Nation, the owner of the key to my heart, versus Kenny Omega. No, but in all seriousness, the WWE's version of Superman. The only man in the world, in history of the world, that can say they've granted over 500 wishes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
He's such a good guy.
He is one of the greatest human beings to ever be involved in any sort of professional sport, job, anything like that.
I don't care if you are mad that he's buried so many people in his career. You know, he doesn't control the booking. He has pull, yeah, but the final say isn't him. But he has given back more than any athlete that I can think of
Ever.
And he's done so much, and he's doing great movies. He uses those movies to reach out to people.
He uses those movies to promote the WWE as a company.
Rock didn't ever do that.
The Rock's a piece of fucking shit. Fuck you, Dwayne Johnson.
Think about this. Like, I started watching in 2009. Rock had long gone by then. I had absolutely no clue that The Rock was ever a wrestler until he returned.
But you knew John Cena was a wrestler when he was in the movies that he was in.
Yeah.
Because John Cena's name is synonymous with WWE. Name another movie star that you can say that about. Can't say it about The Rock.
The Miz.
I'm talking about movies that didn't go straight to DVD.
The Miz.
I like the Miz's movies. Some of them are actually pretty good.
The Marine 3 was good. Marine 4 was and the Marine 5
That Christmas movie was okay.
Crap.
That Christmas movie was okay.
He plays pretty much the same character in every movie, and it gets old.
He's typecast.
Back
Back to my number one. My number one is John Cena versus Kenny Omega.
Alright, my number one. Oh, just talking about this makes me think of the possibilities. My number one is AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega. The match that never got to happen in New Japan. The reason that AJ Styles was kicked out of Bullet Club and sent on packing to the E. Kenny Omega. I still remember that moment. It was
surreal.
It was right when I was starting to get into New Japan, and I loved AJ from TNA, and I was like, oh, AJ's doing this company. Let's see what's this all about. And I loved every single moment of it. Got really into the Bullet Club because of AJ, and then Kenny Omega turned on him, became the new leader of Bullet Club. The Bucks looked like they were going to stop Kenny Omega. Took a few steps forward, turned around, double super kick or triple super kick to AJ Styles, and it was just one of the best moments of all time. We never ever got a payoff for that, and it'd just be really nice to finally see that payoff. And then I'd love to see Kenny Omega reverse a phenomenal forearm into a V-trigger and a Styles clash into a one-winged angel. And that is our list.
This has been J. King.
Let us know how you think about this format. We do kind of want to do this from now on. However, if it's not cool or if it looks stupid, sounds stupid, whatever, we are going to change it back
to you seeing our faces.
So just let us know. Let us know what your dream matches are. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to our channel. And we got a lot of new stuff coming for TKW Wrestling. And we have a huge Season 2 planned.
Let's just be like regular YouTubers. Make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, click that bell, follow us on Instagram. This has been J King.
No. We're not regular YouTubers. We're
You're right.
TKW.
We are fucking better. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TKW_predictions, where you can see more content posted by me, J King. Well, I try to post every day, but you will see weekly content on our Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see me and TJ take over YouTube.com.
Okay.
Oh, it's true.
It's
damn true. But anyway, this has been J King.
And TJ Hunter.
And this video has just been super sweet.